So this is from Crispy Nade. It says, thanks for the video. It has a great breakdown. I do have a question that you might be able to help with thought. I have an ENDER3 Pro version 1 with a 4.27 board and a 3.1 Bltouch installed. It completes its self-test on initial power up, but then does nothing. It also won't do anything when given commands from the controller on the printer. I have attempted to get it working by both installing direct to the board and using the pin board from the kit. Okay, this part I don't really understand because you do not use the pin board for the 4.27 board. It's a direct connection to the motherboard itself, so I don't get the pin board part. I have swapped and checked wiring for both configurations. It still will not work. I have also tried Marlin and Creality's own firmware. Any guess to what might be the issue? See, because it's on the 4.27 silent board right here, upgrade, that you left a comment, but I'm assuming that you're saying that you swapped out the motherboard or from the 1.4 board with the 4.27 board and tried it both ways. If you're going to use a 4.27 board, start with that, install the hardware, and find a firmware that works with the 4.27 board. You shouldn't be swapping it out to test whether the firmware works. They're using a different chipset. One is an 8-bit board and one is a 32-bit board. If it was the exact same board, I would say you can swap it out and see what's wrong. If it works on one board and not, then you can tell maybe something is burnt. There's a bad connection between the soldering joints or whatnot. But other than that, you want to use exactly the same board. If you're using a different board to kind of like compare the firmware, that's not going to work. So I'm going to assume there is something wrong with the actual Bltouch, or there's something wrong with setting up the firmware for the Bltouch. Maybe it hasn't been activated on the firmware itself. This is actually a very good question, because I was going to put a video on how you're going to be able to compare a lot of the firmware, and that's going to be part 3 of my video. I suggest you watch that video. It may be able to help you out. Most likely it's going to be your hardware, but I'm going to go through the firmware first because that's going to be easier and much quicker. So we'll go with the firmware first, and then we'll go with the hardware. This is the configuration.h file for the 4.27 board. Hold on, let me go here, and I'm going to show you where it's from. Default, Creality. The ENDER3 and the ENDER3 Pro are pretty much the same. And then it's going to be a 4.27 board. And this is where I got all the configurations from. That is this configuration.h file. And the configuration_advanced.h file. Now for this configuration.h file, we're going to do a Control F, and then we're going to do a Bltouch. All you have to do is define it right here. And that is the only thing you have to do with the configuration.h file. Well, there are indirect related items that you are going to have to touch when you enable the Bltouch, like this offset right here. But for the most part, if you have that Bltouch enabled right here, defined, then it should be working. There is also the configuration advanced.h file, which you can go through this list and take a look at what they do. You can go read through this, and this right here has been set up for the 4.27 board. So you don't really have to touch any of this configuration file. But in case you want to know and try to override some of the settings and try to see if you can get it to work, you might want to do that. However, I suggest you don't touch any of this configuration advanced setting because it has already been configured for your 4.27 board. So don't touch any of this. I'm just showing you where the actual settings for the Bltouch is, and you can go through and read through some of them. Again, I suggest you don't touch this unless you know what you're doing so you don't damage your Bltouch. However, the only thing you need to really configure or enable is in this configuration.h file, define Bltouch, and that's it. Once you have done that, it is enabled. I'm going to provide you a link to my GitHub page where you're going to be able to download my configuration. This download right here. Just click on this download, save it to your file, unzip it, and then you're going to find this right here, the firmware bin. You're going to copy this and paste this into your micro SD card, and then you're going to turn on your printer, and then you're going to see a blank screen for about, like, I don't know, maybe 8 seconds. If you don't see that blank screen, that means your firmware has not been uploaded. When your firmware is uploading, you're going to see that blank screen before you see the ENDER3 logo or Marlin logo. So look for that blank screen. Now this is the firmware that I have set up on my printer. Although I have a direct drive, that doesn't affect any of the configuration for the stock Bowden system. You can see right here on their images where they have the voltage going to the voltage, ground, and signal, the Z minus and the ground. So look at this diagram right here. I wish they had a little label etched directly onto the Bltouch. However, it is a very small space. The Bltouch is used on multiple different boards, and depending on the board, they may have the pins in a different order. So this is the reason why I think if you're using a component that's going to be used on multiple different boards, there should be like a very good schematic or a diagram where you can easily find it, and that would be basically directly on the Bltouch itself. This is the old stock 1.1.4 board. There aren't enough terminals for you to plug the Bltouch directly onto this board. The pin 27 board uses the pins that are not being fully used by the LCD screen and reroutes them into the 3-pin system. Take a look at the signal, ground, and VCC on this pin board. Now take a look at the 4.27 board and compare the ground, volts, and input with the pin 27 board. You will notice that they are in a different order. So if you have been using this particular pin 27 board, you will have to swap out the ground and volts in order for you to make the connection work. Some pin 27 boards may differ, so check with your own board. Now guys, I can't stress this enough. You better make sure the voltage is going in the correct terminal, or else you're going to overload your system and fry your board. So don't just blindly follow the instructions you see. Make sure you verify everything. You can see by me putting a little bit of pressure that the DuPont connectors actually move within the terminal. So this may be a loose connection, especially when you put on the cover and the fan with the wires. There is a possibility that your connection is knocked loose. So add some hot glue to your connectors. Now when gluing the DuPont connectors, it's going to be best practice to put a little bit of pressure toward the inside of your printer, or push it a little bit toward the right. This will help in making a good connections with the pins inside the connector. Once the glue has dried a little bit, you can remove your finger. This is a common problem when using DuPont connectors. If you have a JST connector or crimpers, you can actually use it and create your own 5-pin terminal, but those crimpers are very expensive. So use hot glue. By now, I hope you got your ENDER3 working with the Bltouch. In this next part, I'm just going to show you the different scenarios that happen when I unplug the Bltouch. So some of the cables for the Bltouch, I'm going to unplug it, and then you're going to see the behavior of the printer or the Bltouch. You really don't have to watch it. It's a long process, but I'm just going to put it out there so you guys can see what happens. It's pretty boring also. So I'm going to give you guys some pointers so you don't have to watch it all the way through if you don't want to. Basically, you're going to see that when the red light is on the Bltouch, that means the power is cycling through the Bltouch. So it is active. It will do the self-test when it is activated, which is the probe going in and out twice. So it's going to do that test. You're going to notice in the different scenarios, even when the board is not communicating or there is no power going through the Bltouch, the printer is still able to auto home. It will move that print head back and forth. But at the step where the motherboard has to make the communication with the Bltouch or signal with the Bltouch, you will notice that is at the point where the printer halts or stops. You can see when I power it on, it's going to do a self-test. I'm going to go to the configuration, and then we're going to go to the Bltouch, and then we are going to do a self-test. Okay, we're going to stop that. And then we're going to deploy, and then we're going to stow. You see that the signal is going through, it's working properly. This is the Z connector for the Bltouch that normally goes in this connection right here. I took it out so you guys can see what happens. Turn this back on. You can see that it still cycles, it does a self-test. So everything looks to be working fine until we do the auto home, and then you have the problem of the Z stop not being triggered. So the printer has stopped. We'll turn off the printer and we'll turn it back on again to see what happens. This time the Bltouch is a dead stick, but still you can see that the printer will still auto home. Again, the printer has stopped because it is not getting a signal that the Bltouch has been triggered. This time you can see that none of the functions on the Bltouch is working. The self-test, the stow, and deploy, none of them are working. Once the Z-stop was plugged in, everything was in working order. The self-test worked, the deploy and stow worked, which I decided not to show for the sake of time. Now this time I decided to take out the main connector to show you guys what happens when the main connection is taken out of the picture. Because the power has been cut off to the Bltouch, you can see that there is no cycling on the Bltouch. But still you can see that auto home does work. Auto home does work, but it decides to halt the process where the signal has to go to the Bltouch, or at a point where the communication needs to be made from the board to the Bltouch. If you're able to stick around to the end and watch that boring part of the video, I hope you're interested enough to push that like button and watch some of the other videos that I have up here. Please share this video, and I hope you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.